Hey, welcome back. I'm pregnant again after 2 losses. That impacted this pregnancy more than I would like to admit. So I'm just going to talk about it because I'm sure that a lot of people don't want to feel alone in that, because there's a guilt aspect when you're not as excited as you think you should be. Now, I don't want to be a complete downer this entire video, but I do want to say kind of where I'm at and how those previous losses that I had really did impact this pregnancy. Like I said, when you're used to not ending up with a baby and going through something kind of traumatic, very traumatic, it does not exactly scream, let's go paint the nursery when you see another positive pregnancy test. It just doesn't say that. I'm gonna go ahead and recap my story quickly. I've suffered 2 pregnancy losses and I'm currently pregnant with my 3rd and it's going well. So the first one was a biochemical loss. I did a video on that I'll post here. You can take a look at it later if you want. That lasted about 4 days before I started bleeding. The one after that was a lot more difficult. I had to have an actual miscarriage procedure at 7 weeks for that one. That video's here. Now, trigger warning on that, I did go into really what to expect during a miscarriage procedure. That's my background on my losses. Now, this pregnancy, I actually had that miscarriage, had the procedure done, and then the first period happened, and then I immediately was pregnant, and that is my current pregnancy right now. I am 18 weeks, 3 days today. It's a baby boy, and I've already gone through all my testing that I wanted to do, the NIPT, the one where they measure the fluid behind the head, the fluid head test, and the amniocentesis, which I opted to do. And I am just now getting excited about this pregnancy. I'm not exaggerating. I am not joking. I am barely now getting excited and realizing that this is actually real. When you've had losses, you are in a state of constant anxiety, panic. Every little symptom that you have, you're just going, oh my goodness, is this going to be a miscarriage? Is this going to be another heartbreak? Should I even try to get excited at all? Like, you don't know if you should tell people. You're just in this bubble of unknown, which I guess is life. If you want to play it like that, you've trained, your mentality has almost trained itself to protect you by not allowing yourself to get too invested in something that might not come to fruition or be. Like my first trimester, I was cramping the first 6 or 7 weeks. So of course in my head, I didn't know if that was going to go into another miscarriage or not. And then as soon as the cramping let up, my symptoms weren't even that bad. And most people would celebrate that, right? Like, you're not throwing up, you're not vomiting, you're not a hot mess in the corner. But for me, my lack of symptoms made it even more intense for me, because I'm just like, okay, if my hormones are rising properly, how come I'm not throwing up like my coworker did every day? If my baby's developing, shouldn't I be feeling more? Shouldn't I be feeling more intense? And it's too early to get things like a Doppler to hear the heartbeat, and it's too early to really do anything. You're just sitting there hoping that this is going to work out. So I just wanted to bring to light how a miscarriage can steal that first trimester joy. I don't know if there's any other way to paint it. Truly, is there any other way to paint it? You have been let down by your body. And I know that a lot of people will say, no, you didn't. It's fine. It's science. It's great. I am glad that my biochemical was early, and I'm glad that the body can do what it naturally does to make sure that the only pregnancies that stick are the ones that have the best chance of survival. But you can't help but feel that your body let you down, and it takes away that excitement from you. It takes it away. It steals it 100%. It steals it from you. For most people. I'm just going to say for most people. I mean, how can you not feel like that? And until you hit that 12-week mark, you're trying to just keep a smile on your face and probably dabble in something called toxic positivity, which I am not a huge fan of. If someone asked me how I was doing, I would say, I'm nervous. If someone asked me if I was excited, I said, no, I'm not. I'm not excited until I know everything's okay. Then I can start to allow myself to get excited. And I'm like owning it. I mean, it's 18 weeks, 3 days, guys. I am just finally starting to breathe easy. Like I'm starting to show, I'm starting to relax. I'm starting to just like, I finally made a purchase. I finally there was a bassinet on sale and I finally just did the splurge and it's going to be delivered in February. And that took me months to get to that point because of those miscarriages. I have a feeling that if I didn't go through those, I probably would have been buying things a lot sooner. And a little message to anyone that's making you feel guilty about this. If you're expressing that you're anxious and someone's deciding to say, well, at least you got pregnant, at least this, why aren't you excited? If they're just shoving their own beliefs down your throat, don't even talk to them. If it's a family member, put up a boundary. Say this is not going to be something we're going to discuss until I am in a headspace to discuss it. And just protect yourself. And do not feel guilty over not feeling excited. It's how can you not feel like this? And if it still continues to get worse, go to therapy. I got a therapist and my therapist was helpful through this. You don't need to stay in it forever. If it's expensive or if it's something you feel like you just need a little bit, or if it's not, it might turn into something you do all the time. Who knows? But get the help you need. Buy a book and just find a way to give yourself that grace. Because you went through a lot. Like I went through a lot. And by the time I got pregnant again, I was still carrying a little bit of weight from the miscarriage loss. How's that for a messed up mind? I don't even know how much I truly gained from this pregnancy because I already had some hormonal stacks going for me. So just let's give ourselves some room to breathe, girl. This is hard on our body. It's amazing. And again, I'm getting excited now, but it is not the easiest thing to do. And then the world and Instagram and social media is trying to say like everything needs to be perfect and picturesque and excited. And here's my little baby announcement picture. And oh my gosh, joy. Sit in it. However you feel is okay. And give yourself grace. That is the main message of this video is just, it is fine and I see you and give yourself grace. I think the rant's done. I think that's really all I had to say on it. I just wanted to make someone feel better because there's not a lot of videos out there on how you're not excited. Hey, I'm pregnant and I'm not excited about it until I know that everything's good. No one's saying that. No one is out there saying that. It's just me, but I'm sure it's something that a lot of people feel and they don't want to actually admit. So a huge hug to the strangers on the internet who are dealing with this burden of societal expectations and acknowledging your own feelings. Seriously, hug from afar. I wish you the best. And again, you can check out those other videos if you want to hear about my losses, or you can just leave it alone. Whatever you want to do. Thanks, doll. Bye.